On our way to Toronto, we made a stop in Kingston to catch up with former Red Meat Games employee Dudley.
No! Yo!
What happened? Welcome to the BTL tour mobile.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We got dinner and Dudley tried mussels for the very first time.
Dudley's first mussel ever.
That's so different. Like, what is this? It's too different.
So no?
I don't know. I'll try it another day. Maybe I'm not.
Dudley and I then compared our impressive tan lines before we got back on the road.
Oh my god. This is wild.
You guys need sunscreen.
Okay, start recording, Reed.
Good to see you, Dudley.
Hey, Steven.
After a great night's sleep, we went to lunch with another former member of the Red Meat Games team and developer on Bring to Light, Frank.
It's going down. It's going down. What do you think of the food?
Oh, yeah.
Frank, what do you think of the food?
After that, we headed into Toronto to visit the Cranfield House. Welcome back to the Bring to Light tour. If you haven't been following along, we're going across Canada to find the spookiest, scariest, most haunted locations to highlight our horror game, Bring to Light. Today we've got some special guests who are developers on Bring to Light. Firstly,
hi, I'm Abby. I worked on some of the art and animation for the game.
And I'm Matt. I was one of the game designers at Red Meat, and I worked on Bring to Light.
if you didn't know, we've developed a mobile AR app that you can download on your phone to find more about the locations we visit and also use a cool AR feature to put the Bring to Light monsters in your living room. We're here at the Cranfield House in Toronto, which has been the set of many horror films over the years, most famously of which was It, starring Pennywise, the scary clown. The Cranfield House is also featured in the sci-fi thriller television series Orphan Black.
Oh no.
Yeah, sent it to have one and shot him.
The house was built in 1902 and was condemned to be destroyed due to structural issues, but was preserved by the Heritage Society because of its history.
What do you guys think of the It House?
It's creepy and I love it.
I want to see the inside.
Bust in there.
I mean, I could crawl.
You know what?
It's easy to see why so many horror movies and TV shows were filmed here. I think it's a really spooky house. Busted up windows, boarded up windows. One of them just has a hole in it where a clown could pop up at any moment, and I don't like that at all. It's spooky. I gotta be honest, when I jumped up on that thing, all the hair on the back of my arm stood up, and I was like, nah, I don't like that. I don't know what that was. It was probably just static or something, but...
It's it.
No.
He's watching you.
I don't like that.
He's coming for you. He knows your deepest, darkest fears, and he's just emanating.
I wonder what he would do for my scene. It's just like math
What are you
class.
really scared of?
It's math class. Math class comes up and I feel inadequate and I start failing and
And it's a pop test or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Surprise quiz!
we're 50%. This is Bruce. No.
Honestly, I think a good one would be, what is everyone's worst fear?
Math.
We got math class.
Math.
Matt, what about you?
Drowning in the ocean.
Dark.
Oh,
Very.
fuck, can I change mine? Mine's space. I hate space so much. You can never pay me enough money to go to space.
Space.
In space, if you're just floating there and someone pushes you, you'll just go in that direction forever. You can't stop.
And your greatest fear, Abby?
Dismemberment. No, I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll change mine. Mine's needles in the eye. I don't like needles in the eye. That's my least favorite thing. There's that one.
You've got a lot of fears.
There's that one.
Fingers in the eye.
Fingers are fine. Fingers are little human sausages. But the scene in that Netflix show where they have to. It's like a dinner party, and they all have to do things to get out.
Would you rather?
Yeah, and so one of them has to like cut their iris out with a razor blade. How about you, Reed? Point the camera at you.
Greatest fear? Going on a cross-country trip with Steven.
Mine's realizing halfway through a cross-country tour that the guy I'm with hates me. That's my greatest fear.
I love you, Steven. Let's hug it out.
Have you seen it, Reed?
Yeah, I saw the first modern one. I watched it when. All right, I'm the older guy here.
You saw the first one.
I saw the first It.
Aren't you going to say hello?
And it was scary. And something, you know what? Actually, something creepy. When we had it on VHS, like taped off of TV or something. I loved the movie. I was spooked out by it. I'd have nightmares about it. My little brother would have nightmares about it. But there was a VHS tape that we had of the It movie, and we'd watch it once in a while. But it was creepy because I swear to God, you could hear audio of one of my brothers talking during one of the scenes during the movie, and it was clear. And there was no question. I'm like, that's my brother.
I don't like that.
And it was somehow
Recorded it
on the VHS
older
tape.
one or the younger one?
I think it was my older brother. So that was always pretty spooky about the movie outside of the movie itself.
It captured part of his soul.
Something like that. Like I would rewind and be like, that's Dwayne. I forget if it was Dwayne or Chad. But it was really apparent. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I don't know.
Favorite horror film?
Yeah, favorite horror film.
Definitely Nightmare on Elm Street.
The first one?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
For me, it has to be Halloween with the small kid with the, what was it?
Oh, the Pumpkinhead Kid.
Yeah, the Pumpkinhead Kid, yeah. Love that one.
Alien.
Nice.
Yeah. Or 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Okay.
It's like a psychological thriller.
Cool. I don't think we're going to get much closer, but...
I mean, we could. We probably shouldn't, but...
I can see the security guard.
Oh, yeah.
There he is. Think you'll help us?
Oh, he's coming out. Can we get any closer?
Sorry?
Can we get any closer?
In here?
Yeah.
No one's allowed on the property.
Okay.
What are you guys trying to do?
Oh, we're just filming a YouTube video. We were wondering if we get any closer.
Yeah, sorry, I can't allow anyone on the property.
That's okay. We understand.
Aren't you scared here, man? Come on. Sometimes. Anything spooky happen?
I wish I could help you guys out, man.
Hey, I understand. We'll just sneak in, but you won't look, right?
Don't do that.
We tried.
I wonder if anyone's in there. The lights are on.
Pennywise is everywhere.
Did they actually film in the attic? I'm curious. Is that where all the clowns were?
I think so.
The inside of the house where they filmed most of the actual inside scenes, and then out in Oshawa they actually built the house and they only filmed the outside in Oshawa.
All right. Well, I'm terrified as usual. On to the next location. You guys down?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
down.
do it.
Steven, you good? I have so much footage of Steven just nope. Nope.
You gotta love it. Horror's fun.
What are we gonna do with this guy?
Reed, can you let me in? It is too much fun sometimes. The amount of times I see him smile, he possibly can't hate the road trip as much as he says he does.
I could film this for hours. It's so entertaining.
Progressively darker and darker.
We had originally planned to finish the evening by visiting the Gibraltar Lighthouse, a spooky relic of the days of bootlegging on Lake Ontario, and the site of a horrific murder. But I messed up the times it was open, and then got us lost in Billy Bishop Airport.
Can we all just kind of soak up that Matt is still walking in the wrong direction?
That's why I thought you said kids. I'm like, we're not kids.
So we all went and got sushi instead.
Yeah,
How's it feel to be going TikTok viral?
feels pretty great.
How many followers you have now?
220, and my TikTok has almost 50,000 views.
How many followers did you wake up with today?
2.
We said goodbye to Matt and Abby and then called it a night. The next day we headed to our backup location, a mysterious little graveyard in the middle of Highway 427.
Is this a B&E?
I think so. Welcome to Richview Cemetery. What do you think?
Well, it's a cemetery, but it's right off the highway.
You've been interested in this spot for a while. Tell me about it.
Well, all I know about it is that when I've driven past this spot, a lot of times, anytime I had a friend in the car, I'd be like, hey, look, there's a cemetery there. And every single time, at least 10 times, they're like, I had no idea. Because you just zip past it. So I've always thought it was the most bizarre spot for a cemetery. Obviously, it must have been a plot of land here that was used as a cemetery before there was highways built around it. And I guess nice of people not to destroy that. But I always found it odd and intriguing and interesting and mysterious and always spooky. So let's go find out more about this highway cemetery.
Richview Cemetery is an amalgamation of many different cemeteries that were scattered around this area, but due to the growth and development of different buildings, they were all brought here and buried in one cemetery. Buried here are many of the founding members of what was become the village of Etobicoke. The village was ultimately removed and a lot of the buildings relocated because of the development like the 427 highway. Essentially, this graveyard is a lost generation of Etobicoke villagers. George Middlebrook, 87 years old when he passed away. Born in 1831, died shortly after the end of World War I. Joseph Davis, born in Ireland, 84 years old when he died in 1865. I'm really bad at math, but that's 1781? That's a long time ago. Great is the loss that we sustain, but hope is that in heaven we meet again. That's poetic. It's a really drizzly, dreary morning here, which sort of adds to the spookiness of this graveyard. Catherine Peacock was 44 years old when she passed away in 1900. She died just after the turn of the century. It's a pretty cool milestone. I wonder if I'll get to see 2100. Normal ambiance you hear in stereotypical graveyard scenes is like owls hooting or thunderbolts or creaky things cracking in the bushes. But having the highway traffic all around us is a different kind of eerie, I think. Sort of a monotone droll, and everyone's oblivious to the lives and legacy of this graveyard. They say you die twice. Once is the time you pass away, and the second is the last time anyone says your name. Steven. I got that from a Macklemore song.
The camera shouldn't see the face I'm making behind it. That's a good thing I'm behind it. I wonder if anybody's still buried here. Like, if it ever, there's any plans to continue using it, or?
So according to the heritage site, if any of your relatives are buried here, you can choose to be buried here. And there is obviously enough space for more burials, but I do not believe anyone else without relatives can be buried in this graveyard.
Some of these gravestones say something about, we hope we'll see you again in the afterlife. You believe in that?
I'd like to. I'm super skeptical. I think after this, that's it. But I think that also makes what we do here more meaningful because you only have one shot, you know?
That's right.
You only get one shot. Do not spit your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
What's that from?
You're killing me, Steve. It's like the most popular shit on the planet. I can't believe you don't know that one.
Is that a Jay-Z song?
Steven. I'm gonna find a plot of land for you in this graveyard.
Wait, is that Eminem?
Yes.
Okay, I don't like Eminem.
Well,
that's a personal preference, but
how do you not know that? You're the most current pop guy I know.
Oh wow! Then clearly you need to know newer pop guys because I'm failing you. This is kind of cool. It's like this is the last living. You know,
nothing's living here.
This is the last,
except for the trees.
What do they call that? This is the last monument to a community of people that lived here for 100 years. The village of Etobicoke had multiple churches, a busy market street, people building Canada, or what would become Canada, because it wasn't a country at the time. And we decided we needed a highway, and over the years it just all got torn down and replaced, and this is all we have left.
This is the ultimate juxtapose, and I always admire that in creativity and art. But you got a graveyard right in between a highway. If you ask me, it's the ultimate juxtaposition. Was probably why I was so intrigued by it over all these years.
Man, living 72 years in the 19th century is not bad. That's the life expectancy now. He would have been a friggin' legend.
So this guy right here?
Robert Chapman died August 22nd, 1877. Native of England. Lots of people here, it's weird to think about, started their lives on one continent, came to this continent, started building a community and a life for themselves, and died with, you know, roots on the other side of the ocean. 1926, they were born. And a lot of them died in the 90s. 92, 97, I think 98, it's kind of rubbed out. So this is probably the most recent graves in this graveyard. So these are definitely people who were related to another family or person buried here and decided they wanted to be buried here too. I bet you this tree was planted when their graves were placed. Well, that's almost 23, 24, 25 years.
What would be on yours?
I think I would put, if you dab on my grave, tag me. Then just put my Twitter. Until the daybreak, his tomb says. Do not go softly to that good night. Fight against the dying of the light. I got that one from Interstellar. I love that movie. This is definitely haunted. Place to get marble was. That's it for this episode of the Bring the Light Tour. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you're interested, we've created a mobile AR app that you can download on your phone that gives you more information about the locations we visit and lets you use your phone's camera to play with the Bring to Light monsters in your very own living room. This project was made possible with the support of the Canada Media Fund. My name's Steven, Reed's behind the camera, and we're Red Meat Games. Thanks so much for watching.